Suddenly, Hutao screamed. She was stuck in the pudding. Ningguang tried to help her, but the pudding was too thick. Today, we're gonna be asking ChatGPT to write us some Genshin fanfiction, which I have no idea how it's gonna go. Genuinely, because I have never tried to ask ChatGPT to write any kind of fanfiction. There's a lot going on here, but I think to make it more interesting, I would like chat actually to help me determine a few things. Okay, so what I have is, let me show you guys really quick, okay? I have a wheel of names of Genshin Impact characters. We'll start by spinning two, right? 2 names at a time so we can have a pairing, because I think paired fanfic is very fun. However, I don't want to just be like, oh, write me like a fanfiction about Candice and Hutao, right? I want to give it a little bit more pizzazz than that. So I would like you all to help me brainstorm a few location ideas and possible activities, okay? So let's start with locations. All right, we got Coochie Slope, the, oh, Hyperion. Arby's? Arby's? The Titanic? On a raft together, alone, in a hotel room, and there's only one bed. A flower shop gaze, I like that. Ying's stream. Denny's parking lot, I like that, Denny's parking lot. Let's call it right around here. All right, okay, I'll get the boba shop and Tenshikoku and then let's move on. You guys ready? Oh, IKEA, okay, we have to do IKEA. You're right. Great ideas. Keep that kind of idea juice flowing. You guys ready for activities? What are they doing? They're playing the Pocky game. They're making a math lab. I don't know about that one. Surviving a zombie apocalypse. Can I spell apocalypse? Fighting the Black Friday. They're building IKEA furniture. Trying to cancel their cable subscription. That's so funny. Secret date, stuck in pudding. They are stuck in pudding. I like something about the specificity of that. They're getting isekai'd. Okay. This is solid. Thank you for the suggestions. I want to say that the activity will determine how many characters I spin. So let's go backwards, right? Let's start with what they're doing and then where they're doing it and then who is doing it, right? Okay, you guys ready for this? Okay, let's go. Spin the wheel. It is... No way. No. Oh, I thought I was gonna be writing fanfics. Okay, they're getting isekai'd. Where are they getting isekai'd? In the Denny's parking lot. Okay, they're getting isekai'd in the Denny's parking lot. And who will it be? Xiangling is getting isekai'd in the Denny's parking lot. I kind of want an accomplice, yeah? Shall we find someone else? Let's see. We'll just say like so-and-so is also involved somehow. Write me a fanfic, yeah? Okay. Alhaitham is involved. All right. Hi there. Okay, write me a Genshin fanfiction about Xiangling getting isekai'd in the Denny's parking lot. Alhaitham is involved. Go. Okay. Oh no, okay. It's already good. Jesus Christ. You guys ready for this? Xiangling had just finished her shift at the Wanmin restaurant and was on her way home when suddenly she found herself transported to a strange place. She looked around and saw a brightly lit sign that read Denny's and realized that she was in a parking lot of some sort. As she was pondering her situation, a man approached her. He was tall, with short black hair and a friendly smile. Hi there, my name is Alhaitham. Are you lost? He asked. Why don't you come with me? I can take you to my restaurant and we can get something to eat. Maybe that will help clear your head, he suggested. Xiangling hesitated for a moment, but then decided to trust Alhaitham. She followed him to his restaurant, which was a small diner with a cozy atmosphere. They sat down at a booth and Alhaitham ordered them both pancakes. She had never seen a restaurant like this before, and the food was unlike anything she had ever tasted. This is delicious, she exclaimed, taking another bite of her pancake. Wait, does Alhaitham own the Denny's? Is that what's happening here? Okay, Alhaitham smiled at her reaction. I'm glad you like it. Our restaurant is famous for our pancakes. We use a special recipe that has been passed down for generations, he explained. Xiangling was amazed by Alhaitham's knowledge and skill as a chef. She had always been passionate about cooking, and meeting someone like Alhaitham was a dream come true. As they chatted over their meal, Xiangling couldn't help but feel a connection to him. After they finished eating, I need a moment. As they said their goodbyes, Xiangling couldn't help but feel a twinge of sadness. She didn't want to leave Alhaitham or the strange new world she had found herself in, but as she walked away, she knew that she would never forget her time in the Denny's parking lot and the wonderful friends she'd made there. Alhaitham's full name is Alhaitham Denny. Wait, okay, I'm sorry. Is the premise of this story that Alhaitham is the head chef of a Denny's where they have a secret pancake recipe that's been passed down for generations? Oh my god, what a deep plot, truly. Alhaitham did not exist in 2021. That is fair. That is very fair. I think we should add a new wheel. I think we need a tone wheel. And what I mean by that is, if you have never played with ChatGPT before, this is something you will find yourself doing a lot of, which is like adjusting your approach as you play with it, right? Suggest to me some tone, some genre, right? Like what kind of a fic? Is it an angst fic? Is it a sexy fic? Is it a travel fic? Is it an AU, right? Like, okay, we got a romance, we got murder mystery, I like that. Tragedy, mafia, AU. Dystopian, enemies to lovers, okay, enemies to lovers, lemon and lime. Smut, we can't do smut here, I'll get banned. Lovers to enemies, let's go Corin. Okay, slow burn betrayal, oh my goodness. Survival. Gordon Ramsay AU. What does that even mean? We'll find out. All right, that's pretty solid. That is pretty solid. Okay, I feel like y'all are having fun. I realized I never did my disclaimers. I feel like it's very important to do the disclaimers because there's a lot of ground to cover here. So now that I've like hooked you guys in with the first story, will you guys allow me a 2-minute disclaimer? So, first off, if anyone here like doesn't already know what ChatGPT is, if you couldn't already sort of guess based on what we just did, ChatGPT is a chatbot. It's trained on like what's called it's a series of language models actually by a company called OpenAI or an organization called OpenAI. It uses a specific chat box like format, right? It's called conversational UI. It makes it really intuitive, and because of that, it's really caught on by storm. So like recently, it's been kind of a viral sensation over the past few months. Everybody's been talking about ChatGPT. Do not worry if you haven't heard of it, right? It is kind of still isolated to certain circles. But just so in case you don't know what ChatGPT is, what you just saw with the Xiangling, Alhaitham, Denny's isekai parking lot fanfic. That was ChatGPT. So a lot of people will use ChatGPT as an authoring tool, as a fun chatbot situation, right? But I want to sort of have a disclaimer because I think the realm of ML and NLP is complicated. So acronym disambiguation, ML is machine learning, NLP is natural language processing. You'll hear me use these words a lot, probably over this whole stream. But basically the way that language models like ChatGPT are built, it's modeled off of or built off of machine learning methods that basically you just feed this like algorithm a whole bunch of data. In this case, it would be language data, right? That could be both audio or text. And then it uses basically a various like collection of mathematical models. And then it uses like linear algebra to catch associations and like patterns within the data. It's a lot more complicated than that, but that for anyone who's like not familiar with machine learning, that's how it works. You give it a bunch of data, right? There's a lot of different ways you can feed it data, but essentially it's a machine that is looking for patterns in data that you feed it. So after you do lots of training and lots of testing of this model to make sure it's like doing what you want it to do, after that is where you start to watch this model evolve, and it'll improve with every time you like feed it fresh data, you tell it how good the data was, and then it'll incorporate it back into the model and improve it every time. So it's kind of this like iterative training and testing process. There are a lot of interesting nuances about the way this process works, but that I'm again very much simplifying it for anyone who's like totally unfamiliar in this space. I feel like the information here is very important actually to understand why people are so heated about ChatGPT and why people are having like debates, right? Like, have you seen how on fire the art space is right now with art ML, right? Like AI art is like a whole issue right now. Similarly, ChatGPT I think has been having a lot of discourse and conversation, and I want to help you all. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot like digital art. Feed it a bunch of data, ask it for something, it spits something out. It's the exact same thing, but instead of art, it's words, right? And as much as we are all having fun, haha, chatbot writes funny genshin fic, there's actually a lot of like risk factors here. And I actually think that it's, how should I say this? It's in my mind, it's a bit of like an event horizon in the field of natural language processing. So I think that now that we have ChatGPT, we may never go back to a world before ChatGPT. And I think it gets really complicated once you start to think about like the ethical implications or the societal ramifications, right? Like, how will ChatGPT change our society and the way we write and the way we converse with each other and how we access knowledge? Because lots of people are using ChatGPT as if it were like, if anyone here is old enough to remember Ask Jeeves, people are using it like it's Ask Jeeves. It's like conversational Google, right? So it's complicated. The fact that the way ML works is that it's kind of a black box. You can't just like open it up and see. I talked about associations. You can't look at what associations it's formed. You just throw data at it and it spits things out. You don't know how it decided what to spit out. You can kind of guess, right? You can make some guesses and test it and train it continuously, but you will never know exactly why it made the decision it did. And so that opens it up to a lot of misuse, manipulation. If you're curious about how bad that can get, like the most recent examples are probably Microsoft Tay. Does everyone remember the chatbot? Microsoft made a chatbot called Tay. Or is it like a Twitter bot? So you can look that up. Or in ChatGPT's case, there's already people who are trying to break it, right? So Dan, D-A-N, ChatGPT Dan, look that up if you're curious how things can go. But we're not gonna go super into the weeds. This could be a whole stream on its own, right? It could be a whole college level lecture. I'm not an expert. I'm not gonna get into the weeds with y'all. I have a computer science background. I saw y'all speculating in chat. I do. I have a bachelor's degree in computer science. I've tutored a single ML class back in the day. It's a long time ago now, and a lot of things have changed. So I have a very elementary understanding of both machine learning and natural language processing, and also kind of cybersecurity. But as far as it goes with data privacy, algorithmic bias, I think these are things that we should like seriously think about. And as much as it is fun to be like, haha, chatbot writes funny fics, I want to challenge everyone to think critically about this tool and like how our data is being used, why it's being used the way it is, what their monetization schemes are going to look like, and how OpenAI is ending up monetizing the data that we give it. So just some food for thought and an important disclaimer, right? Like, it's not just a funny tool. It is also a funny tool, a useful tool, but it's also, I think, an interesting societal dilemma that we've arrived at. So important disclaimers. Thank you for sitting with me through that. Anyways, now that that's out of the way. Haha, funny bot make genshin fic. Let's spin the next one. What are they doing? Are they stuck in pudding? They are stuck in pudding. Okay. What kind of genre are we looking for? I hope it's a tragedy. It's a murder mystery about them being stuck in pudding. Okay. Who? Hutao for a murder mystery? I feel like this wheel is entertaining me more than ChatGPT. Literal randomness is sparking more joy for me right now than the OpenAI NLP model. Okay. Hutao and who else? Shenghe. Wait, would ChatGPT know who Shenghe is? I think so. She was released in January 2022, but we can ask if it knows Shenghe. Okay, hold on. Let's spin it. Let's spin a location first. This is gonna be good. Hold on, let's check with it real quick. Do you know Shenghe from Genshin Impact? Yeah, Shenghe is a character in the popular video game Genshin Impact. A rumored upcoming character. Okay, guys, I think we need another person because as of knowledge cutoff date is September 2021. Okay, that's good to know. Let's try another one. Come on. Who else? Ningguang. Okay, sure. Write me a murder mystery style Genshin fanfic about Ningguang and Hutao in a boba shop. They get stuck in pudding at some point. Okay, all right. Ooh, the tone is a little different. All right, here we go. The sound of footsteps echoed through the quiet streets of Liyue Harbor. It was late, and most of the shops had closed for the night, but one shop, in particular, remained open. The Golden Pavilion was a well-known boba shop, famous for its delicious drinks and cozy atmosphere. The owner, Ningguang, had just closed up shop and was counting her profits when she heard a knock on the door. She opened the door to find Hutao, the director of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor, standing outside. "Can I help you?" Ningguang asked. "I was in the area and thought I'd stop by for a drink," Hutao said, a mischievous grin on her face. Ningguang hesitated for a moment, but then she smiled and invited Hutao inside. They chatted and drank boba for a while, enjoying the quiet of the night. But then, something strange happened. As Ningguang was pouring more boba into their cups, she noticed that the pudding was stuck in the dispenser. She tried to wiggle it loose, but it wouldn't budge. Suddenly, Hutao screamed. She was stuck in the pudding! Ningguang tried to help her, but the pudding was too thick. She quickly realized that Hutao was sinking deeper and deeper into the pudding, and she was in danger of suffocating. Help! Someone help! Ningguang shouted, but no one could hear her. The situation was dire. Ningguang knew that she had to act fast. She ran to the kitchen and grabbed a knife. With a few swift strokes, she cut through the thick pudding, freeing Hutao from her sticky trap. Ningguang nodded, relieved that her friend was safe. But then she noticed something strange. There was a small piece of paper floating in the pudding. It was a note, written in scrawled handwriting that she didn't recognize. Ningguang's heart raced as she read the note. It was a threat, directed at her. Someone was trying to scare her, and they had used Hutao as bait. With their minds made up, Ningguang and Hutao left the boba shop and began their investigation. They asked around town, looking for any clues that could help them solve the mystery, but they found nothing. This is like the Great Molasses Flood of 1990. Finally, after weeks of searching, they discovered a clue that led them to a small alleyway on the outskirts of town. There, they found a group of thugs who had been hired to scare Ningguang. They were working for someone who wanted her out of the picture. Who's it gonna be? The two friends fought off the thugs, but one of them managed to escape. The trail led them to a large mansion on the outskirts of Liyue Harbor. It was there that they discovered the mastermind behind the plot! None other than Fatui leader, Child. This is so good. This is so good. Okay. Child had been trying to take over Ningguang's business for months, and he had grown increasingly desperate. Oh, Child is a desperate man. All right. They had uncovered his plot and were now standing in front of him, ready to bring him to justice. You thought you could scare me with your petty tricks, Child? Ningguang said, her voice cold and steady. You underestimate my resolve. I won't back down to the likes of you. Child sneered at her. You're just a foolish woman, Ningguang. You don't understand the power that the Fatui holds. You can't win against us. But Ningguang was not afraid. She stood tall, her eyes fixed on Child's. I don't need to win against you, Child. I just need to make sure that justice is served, and that's exactly what's going to happen today. Wait, I forgot to read this in Uwu voice. Moshi redeemed. We'll do the rest of it in Uwu.
With that, Hutao and Ningguang charged towards Child, their weapons at the ready. The fight was fierce, but in the end, the two friends emerged victorious. Child was defeated, and justice had been served. After the battle, Ningguang and Hutao returned to the Golden Pavilion boba shop. They sat in silence, sipping their drinks and reflecting on the events of the past few weeks. I'm glad it's over, Hutao finally said, breaking the silence. I never want to get stuck in pudding again. From that day on, the Golden Pavilion boba shop became a symbol of the power of friendship and the resolve of two strong women. They had faced danger and come out on top, and they knew they could face anything as long as they had each other. This is horrible. Can you write a short paragraph extending this fanfiction, because I don't want to get it to truther me again. This fanfiction explaining why Hutao got stuck in the pudding to begin with. It's possible that the person behind the threat somehow knew that you would be the one to get stuck in the pudding. Maybe they were trying to use you as distraction.
But how though?
Not the threat, the pudding! The pudding!
Can you imagine if you finally got your hands on your favorite fanfic author and you could ask them any question you wanted about some fanfic they had written that broke your heart, and this is how they conversed with you? Did Hutao like climb into the pudding, or did it fall on her or something? I apologize for the conclusion. Allow me to clarify. Hutao did not climb into the pudding intentionally. The pudding incident occurred when Hutao was reaching for a napkin on a nearby table and accidentally knocked over a cup of pudding, causing it to spill all over her. The pudding was sticky and gooey, making it difficult to move her arms and legs. Ningguang had to help her out of the pudding, and the two of them realized it was a deliberate trap. I'm sorry. I I can't breathe. This is a big cup of pudding. Oh my god, that was fun. Was it? Okay, yeah, let's ask. What flavor was the pudding? The flavor of the pudding was vanilla, with a smooth and creamy texture that made it particularly sticky when spilled. Despite the circumstances of how Hutao ended up stuck in it, she couldn't help but admit that it was quite delicious. Okay, so she tried to eat her way out of the pudding as well. That's good to know. That's certainly important context. I feel like the bot is like really getting into the like, I'm a fanfiction writer mode now. This is hilarious. I wonder, okay, let's try to get like an A-level fanfic before we end stream today. How does that sound? Deal? And I'm gonna, for the sake of trying to get a good fanfic, let's do rerolls as much as we want, right? Let's start with the genre again. Dystopian? I'm excited. Okay, dystopian. What are they doing in this dystopian world? What goal are they trying to achieve? Pretending to be, well, I forget what this was. Oh, okay. Okay, it's a dystopian fic where some people are pretending to be on a date. Solid. It looks like y'all like this one so far. Yeah. Okay, we're keeping this one. Okay. Where are they? Oh, okay. Okay, they're pretending to be on a date in a flower shop, but it's a dystopian fic. Do we feel good about that? I see a no happening. No, a gay bar would have been funny, fitting. Well, you guys don't like flower shop gays? I think we give it a chance. I think a flower shop fic date has a lot of potential. Okay, let's retain the right to reroll it depending on who we get, okay? So, I don't want a child. I don't want, not Razor, sorry. I'm done with writing romance fanfiction about children. That's a little strange. Mona. Oh. We just rolled an actual pairing. Okay. Mona Fischl, dystopian flower shop fake date. Okay. Is Fischl a teen? I guess it's unclear. I guess Fischl's a little bit unclear. We'll just say, if we're concerned about that, I know their ages are like a little questionable, but if it's concerning to you, we'll just think of it as aged up, right? As they made their way back to their respective masters, Mona and Fischl shared a knowing glance. They both knew that their fake dates were just a small part of a much larger plan, but they also knew that they had each other to rely on. In a world ruled by tyranny and oppression, their growing bond was a glimmer of hope that one day things would be different. It's a wavy B+, yeah. I think if we were to have like a human being, right? And you know what? I will commission one of my friends who writes fanfic. I will commission a fanfic writer friend with the same prompt at the very beginning of like fake date, dystopian, Venti is evil Archon. We'll compare them. Okay, let's do that. Let me compile what I have. I'm going to not show this whole thing to a friend, but we're going to ask a friend. I'm gonna go commission like a fanfic writer to take the same prompts. Just because the bot invented those things and I want it to be as cohesive as possible, what the human writes, I want it to be at least close, right? But I think what we'll see the difference in is the detail and like emotional impact, right? And also I think some character relevance. So this is the prompt that we will send to my friend, and I'll be back maybe a week or so from now, depending on the timeline, and then we'll see what the human take of this is. Stay tuned. I think it'll be fun. Will Fischl still get amnesia? Oh yeah, that's a good point. We need to specify the ending. I don't specify how the revolution ends, right? Whether it's a win or a loss or whatever. Whether the fanfic writer decides to insert romance, right? That remains to be seen. Okay, I'm excited for this. I think it'll be fun. Thank you guys for joining me on this journey. Did you guys have fun too? Was it fun? What did you all think? Would you use ChatGPT after watching this stream? Did you enjoy it? Did you feel like it has potential? Do you have reservations about it after my big rant at you all about the dangers of ML and AI? That was a lot of fun. I'm glad. All right, well, I hope that was as satisfying for you all as it was for me, because I actually feel like I got a lot out of that. That was actually like both educational and fun, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I learned a lot. Whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, have a wonderful time of day, and I'll see you all next stream. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.